Okay, so here we have a little short video on how to rig up a Texas rig and also a weightless rigged setup on a rubber worm. This happens to be Strike King, about 5 inches, 6 inches, pack of 7. Used a few of these already, like them a lot. They're not too soft and not too rigid, so open up the pack. And another thing I like about these particular worms is this little light top. I think that or light end really attracts fish. One thing I will say about these particular worms, they're not that consistent. Like this one, for example, does not have that light tail. So the consistency might be nice with those, but they're a good worm anyway. And this is watermelon with the black fleck. So a couple of different options. One of my favorite hooks at the moment, these weighted ones, a little tricky to hook up. You just find the middle, like so, just in slightly, bring it out again, and that will create a little hole that you can then push the eye of the hook in, just like so, and then work out where you want to push that point of the hook, going at 90 degrees without pricking yourself. Expose the whole of that point, and there you go, you have a nice weedless setup. If it is protruding a little bit, you can stretch out the worm and just sink that point in like so, and that makes it really weedless, and that will sit in the water like that. You can bump it up and down off the bottom. It'll rise up like so and then just drift down and move quite nicely. Yeah, great setup. And you can also do that with your non-weighted hook, which we have here. And in this example, you just go through the same kind of distance, push the whole of the hook through and bring it down to there, turn it so it sits nicely, exposes the eye. And again, work out where you want to put that point in, going at 90 degrees. Make sure the whole thing is through, like so. And bring it back down. And again, you can see I've got a little exposed barb there, so it's not ideal. But then stretch it out and just bring it back in, and that will hide that point, but still, when a bass bites it, boom, you've got it snagged. So there you go, there's a couple of different options. You can also fish these with a little weight. Again, I like these little profiled weights, and you just put that on first before you set up your hook, and that will separate once the bass strikes. It will separate, and there'll be less chance of that hook being shaken out by the weight on the hook. But there you go, there's a couple of different options. Wacky style, I like to use circular hooks for this, but just for the sake of demonstration, you just locate kind of the middle of the worm and simply just push it through right in the middle. Well, let's do it this way, a little easier. Not a weedless setup by any stretch, but quite popular with a lot of people. Personally, I like the weedless setup myself. There you go, that's wacky. Alright, there you go, tight lines. Hope you catch some fish.